Europe, a process has been underway for several decades to boost cross-border cooperation. This European integration is a basic framework for the fact that peace has prevailed in large parts of Europe for some time now. Despite all this, these linkages and foundations for peace are not equally expressed throughout Europe. Linked to this, there is still a partial lack of knowledge about the cultural, social, and political diversity among the individual European countries. In a nutshell, European people still often know too little about each other. And this is where the Forum für Mittelost- und Südosteuropa, FOMOSO for short, comes into the picture. FOMOSO now wants to shift the perspective a little and focus the discussion on East Central and Southeast Europe in social-political terms, for in order to seriously tackle and continue a possible in-depth consolidation of European exchanges and cooperation, an extensive understanding within Europe is needed, but there are often insufficient and inadequate insights about the region mentioned, and not only but also in the German-speaking regions. With this in mind, FOMOSO is taking this opportunity and as an independent, non-governmental organization is promoting a constructive opinion formation about the countries in East, Central and Southeast Europe, the so-called MOSO countries. This include the countries in the Baltic states, the exclave Kaliningrad Oblast, countries in Eastern Europe as well as in the Balkans. And, of course, we must not forget the Visegrad states, which, incidentally, form a cooperation group themselves and, among other things, have their own fund from which money is used, for example for integration projects in the Western Balkans. Now back to FOMOSO. Among many other tasks and activities, such as writing topic-specific dossiers or conducting informational events, FOMOSO supports socio-political projects in the region. One such project is, for example, an interview project in Albania with experts from various fields on the socio-political situation in the country. In this context, it also becomes clear that the support and interconnection of people is one of the main focus. In this regard, the forum occasionally offers internships in order to provide an introduced or extended insight into European cooperation from the MOSO perspective. A closer look at the approaches mentioned clearly shows a few goals of FOMOSO. The elimination of ignorance, misunderstandings and possible prejudices is important in order to pave the way for further development of European cooperation. Commitment and deepening of cross-border cooperation is another aspect that is in focus. Finally, the stimulation of socio-political discussions, ideas and questions from and about the MOSO region is a field of activity that FOMOSO promotes. The Forum für Mittelost- und Südosteuropa is convinced that every kind of effort, commitment and even a certain passion for constructive development within Europe will undoubtedly lead to a strong Europe that contains some important fundamental values that are worth fighting for. This principle is the constant driving force behind FOMOSO's activities.